Real quick, I was being gang stalked in the city of Cleveland by low base gay gangsters, you'll call them, government officials, thugs, whatever. They would follow me with that low base and it would make me suggest homosexual, bisexual behavior. And they were trying to push me into the sex trade, male sex trade for males, homosexual sex trade, bisexual sex trade. And I also had another event in Parma when I was working at Godmother's. I was walking home from Godmother's. I bought uh, a half of some trees, some weed, cannabis, 14 grams. And I was walking by Parma High in the wintertime, and then somebody stopped at a stop sign for like 10 minutes, menacing me with stalking. Made me, my PTSD, uncomfortable. I hid behind a car. I just got a text. That's why I looked up like that. I hid behind a car. They called the police. Police came with a fucking drug dog. There was like 6 fucking cops that showed up with a fucking drug dog that came on me. I said, "What the fuck, man?" You know what I'm saying? I just walk home from fucking working. They know who I am. That person set my ass up, and I had like 15 layers on, pants and shirts. I had 2 containers filled with 2 quarters, 7 grams each. They found one of them. And then let me go. They said, "You want to ride back to your house?" I said, "No." One of the officers knew me because my little sister, who I don't speak to, is friends with him in through her marriage. I'm like, "Hey, you know my sister?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And then what's it called? They let me go, and then with a charge of possession charge again. All right, in Parma again. This time it's not 2 grams. This time it's 7 grams. I walked back to my fucking house. This is the house I'm staying at now, my grandma's house on Fruitland Drive in off of Route 94. And what's it called? Somebody on the fucking street called the police on me, knowing I live on this fucking street. It's again late in the morning. They pull me over again, 3 houses down from where the fuck I stay at. Find the other 7 grams. Charge me with possession. 2 possession charges. Fast forwarding it, after now I'm homeless in Cleveland. These gay people are fucking trying to make me gay, trying to hold me, trying to make me submit through sound. And I had to go to court in Parma for those charges, those weed charges. Based off of what happened to me last time in Parma, I said, fuck that. I looked up the nearest state that has recreational cannabis. It was Michigan, to my surprise. I said, what? And I decided to walk to Michigan. And then I made it. I started walking along Route 2. I was sleeping on the Warner Swayze building on East 55th on the rooftop. I woke up to a bright red sun, one of those like blood suns. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it's called. It was a phenomenal experience. And I thought to myself, this is the day I leave. And what's it called? I started walking down Route 2, Route 6. I believe it's Route 2 along the water. And I was following Lake Erie to get all the way to Michigan. I couldn't go across Port Clinton Bridge when I got to Port Clinton to keep going along the lake. So I had to walk inland towards along the state route to Fremont. Then from Fremont, I would walk around Port Clinton to Toledo up to Michigan. Somebody on my way to Fremont, a woman in an AT&T car, picked me up, offered me a ride. She said, "Where are you trying to go?" I said, "Detroit." She said, "I have family working in Toledo right now in a house, and he lives outside Detroit. I could take you to Toledo, and he could take you to Detroit." I said, "All right." And then she said, I've been in a situation like this in the past too. I know what it's like. I said, oh, okay, cool. So she sent me to fucking Detroit. We'll talk Detroit another day. I pretty much covered most of it in other clips. That's where I got microchip. I landed in Mexico Town. Started staying in abandoned buildings. And then what's it called? I was just walking around the metro area, staying in abandoned buildings, staying homeless and collecting cans. And I was doing work. I was trying to get a job before the winter time and get an apartment or save up money and head to a different state from there. But I was not going back to Ohio. I was not going back to Cleveland or Cleveland apartment. I said, fuck that. And then, whew, another story for another day. I'll pick up on this another time.